Gonna hop directly in right now because I hadn't got my stream set up, so I couldn't start it off immediately. Lucas is actually gonna. Oh no. He's doing the thing that I told him to do. Shit. So, because he's got this reputation for going 2 racks, I'm gonna tap that off, I don't like it. He's got this reputation for going 2 racks. He's gonna fake going 2 racks to make Moomin think that he's gonna go 2 racks and then she needs to defend against it. And then she'll overreact, he'll take advantage and go economical and he'll be ahead. But it looks like at the moment Moomin's not overreacting at all and it's just kind of playing standard, which is very good for her. So in the end, not really going to get anything done, but ultimately not that much of a loss for Moomin. Sorry, for Lucas. He's still pretty much the same, just with slightly less mining because his SCVs had to travel a bit further, which is no big deal. Ooh. Okay. Good first fight for Moomin there. And go and react. Man, she was really confident, wasn't she? Reactor after Reaper. I mean, that's pretty ballsy if you have just scouted no barracks at home, but okay. Respect. And yeah, it's going to be reacted at Reapers, as you do. So Lucas might be in a spot of bother here, because his Reapers obviously are going to be produced a lot more slowly. Can win this fight though. Hellion and Reaper does lose to 2 Reapers, if you micro correctly. It especially loses to 2 Reapers and a Hellion, but there's going to be 3 Reapers very soon, which Lucas of course does lose. And if he gets caught, that could be very, very bad for him. Okay, he's not caught, that's good. Now he just needs to be conservative until he can get this siege tank. And actually it looks like Moomin's not going to try and push an advantage he might have. So should get the tank out, should be completely fine. So, move. This isn't really going to do anything. I mean, no, it won't really do much there either. Though actually, the natural's quite exposed, so some damage could be done there. The tank actually is not sieged, that needs to be sieged up. It's just not right now, and this actually could totally kill the siege tank, and then everything else could fall in short order. Just save the siege tank, but is she going to save the natural? That one's a little bit less certain. I'm just going to do that real quick, sorry. Didn't miss much, just SCV's been pulled. And after all that, Lucas is still alright on army, got a siege tank alive, he's still kind of ahead on workers, even if he's not mining with them right now. So overall, I'd say that was pretty good for Lucas. Oh, this is kind of cute. Didn't work out, but cute little move. So in the end, it's pretty much even. Is there a Raven? Okay, there's no Raven for Lucas. He's only starting it now, so Moomin's Raven is marginally ahead. Not a big deal though. It's going to be a siege tank drop. With the medevac to back it up, should be able to get the vision required to fight against that. The attack not going to do anything. Siege tank's going to deal with it. Now, siege tank goes in. It's going to drop on top of Moomin's siege tank, but this actually might be problematic for Lucas because he can now. Okay, trying to repair instead of kill with the SCVs maybe was the wrong play. Hard to say. Because if you try and kill and it doesn't work out, it really doesn't work out. Yeah, this is looking pretty bad now. Slight overcommittal with the Marines, and now here comes the Cyclone. The turret will hold them off for a few seconds, which will bridge the gap between the siege tank. But still not looking great. 6 workers behind. Only real oh no. Okay, it doesn't get the Raven. If he got the Raven, that would have been massive. Now, it's nothing in the main that can deal with this, but it's not that powerful. The siege tank coming out should be able to deal with it just fine. And actually, is there a third base? No, there's not a third base finished for Lucas, so that's something good for Moomin right here, even if she is 9 workers down and losing more. This is why it's kind of really good to get the Cyclone. Okay, I'm not entirely sure why the tank's getting sieged. But yeah, if you had the Cyclone, you could lock onto that, you could take it out, and then kind of get rid of the harass. But, you know, that medevac can stay there for as long as it wants, really, or at least until a Viking's out, which is going to take a while. Meanwhile, back in Lucas's base, Vikings coming out 2 by 2, 2 siege tanks, 3 in fact, single Raven, which I think Moomin's got 2, right? Yeah, so that's a slight advantage for her. But I think I know what I would take. I'd take the much stronger economy, relatively bigger army, and pretty good setup on 2 bases with a third on the way. And now Moomin's going to feel as if she has to do some damage. They are going to pass each other like ships in the night, which could actually be quite good, because if Moomin can get a position, but I think actually Lucas is going to get to the third base first, and so Moomin might feel compelled to come back, which I think would be the wrong choice, but it's a really hard one to make in that situation. Now does she go back? No, it doesn't lift. Okay, the lift does happen. She's got some units in the main. Now, oh, but there is a siege tank in the main for Lucas as well, so it's going to be very difficult for Moomin to break it. Can still go put down a turret next to that siege tank, which is going to be a big deal. But the counter repair is going to make all the difference. He just needs high ground vision. Doesn't have it though. SCVs come down. And at the end of it all, Lucas loses 25 workers. But he's still got the far bigger army. Yeah, Moomin's going to have to pull workers as well to clean this out. It's not going to work because there's Marines, there's a Raven that can put down all the turrets. And yeah, that's going to be quick 1-0. Even trying to do some mules to mess with the targeting, but didn't work out. 1-0 Lucasdart. How the hell did Beckett get in? That's usually one of the first vetoes. But I think it's kind of like with Blackburn, is you have this like veto chicken thing going on. Where it's like, well, I'm not vetoing that, because that'll just be a free veto for my opponent. But your opponent thinks the same thing. It's like, well, I'm not going to veto that, because it'll be a free veto. So you both refuse to veto it, expecting your opponent to veto it, and waste a veto. But then they don't. And then it's like, oh shit. Now we're going to play this awful map. Just waiting for Moomin to come back. Do, do, do. Yeah. That's such an annoying bug. And it's pretty much impossible to detect as well, because you just assume that someone's AFK, and they assume that you're dragging your heels or something for some reason. But, well, got past it. So... Actually, funnily enough, I've never been on the wrong side of that. I've never been the person that hasn't received an invite when they were supposed to. It's always been on this side, where I got an invite and then someone else didn't have it. Anyway, Beckett Industries. I wish I could say something good about this map, but I can't. It's just not possible. Anyway, in the bottom right, representing Genesis Gaming, sending out an SCV to go do some shenanigans, it is the Red Terran player, Lucasdart. And in the bottom right, representing Platinum Heroes, in pink, down a map, it is Moomin. Gonna be hoping that she can deal with this SCV and this one too. So this is kind of what Lucas likes to do, is he's a big fan of these kind of fake outplays where he'll do something in one game to sell a certain thing. So like last game he went for the fake proxy to make it look like he's gonna constantly play to his image. Then he's actually going to, you know, 2 racks in the next game to make Moomin kind of think, oh well, he didn't do it last game, so he's probably doing the exact same thing. He's trying to make me overreact again. So I'll just, you know, do as I have been doing. And then that's when he does the 2 racks and takes her out. So it's a nice play. It's kind of rudimentary mind games, I guess you could say. It's not I'm playing 9D intergalactical backgammon and you're playing fucking checkers or something. It's just, you know, here's something kind of that you're not expecting that I'm going to do, and it's going to catch you off guard maybe. And well, Moomin is having a quick look around, but she's not gone for an SCV scout this game. So kind of either way this would be quite good for Lucas, but it's still a 2 guess, so it's not a slam dunk. And now we kind of get into the situation where this factory, we were talking about this factory is a little bit later, you see. It should be like here or something. So your first Hellion is later. Yeah, not feeling that confidence to go for the reactor after the first Reaper. And she's gonna see? Yeah, she's gonna see. So there's no chance she's gonna die outright to this first Reaper just jumping into her base. But that's well, knowing is half the battle, they say, but half the battle it is indeed. This isn't enough SCVs. Okay. I guess in that tight space it definitely was, because he couldn't maneuver around them. Now, though, she's got to be careful. Okay, this is big. If she keeps both Reapers alive... Ooh! Okay, can't chase after that, but that was very good. Killing a Reaper for nothing, fantastic job. And now going to get Marines out, going to get Hellions out. So this should be a halt. Should be a halt for Moomin. There's not much that Lucas can do. So now we're looking at the transitions. Moomin's going for a quick CC. Lucasdart is going for a factory. Many workers in gas. And ooh, that reactor's a bit weird for me. I'm not a huge fan. Yeah, see, this is the issue. You're now outnumbered with Reapers. You really have to be careful when you go for the transition. This in particular is a very risky maneuver. Okay, this is good. Okay, it's not ideal, but Moomin managed to get past it. Now going to resaturate her base, and has kind of survived one of the scarier parts of the game. So now we definitely are going to go into a macro game. There's going to be a starport which is actually faster for Lucas than Moomin's, because Moomin is only just putting hers down now. And he's actually not flying his barracks back. Okay, he's going to fly them back now. He just wanted to get a few more Reapers out. Still, oh, he's still making Reapers. So this is kind of interesting. I would have expected one to go forwards, one to go back. Now this is definitely a winning fight. Not a huge fan of the grenade usage there. He's like, I see it so often that people like blow their loads really soon, like really early, for no reason. It's completely uncalled for. Because you don't do damage with grenades, they do 5 damage, like they're useless. It's all about the limiting of... Oh, she needs to block this. Does she know? Does she realise? No. Doesn't realise at all. Oh, that's lucky, that's lucky! Surely she needs to realise now. No. Oh man, and now the Cyclone comes along. The Reapers and Hellions are still in the main base, and now it's going to be a bit awkward for Moomin to try and deal with this. Her own Cyclone's almost out. CC is blocked, and now she can't really fight against the Cyclone until hers is out. And she's lost 5 workers in the process. This was very, very well handled by Lucasdart to kind of get himself back into a good spot in the game. Now, comes back in again, and he kills another worker, another couple of workers I think it was. Actually, there's a lock-on on the Cyclone, that's massive. Gonna lose even more workers though, so just like even after all that, she's 8 workers behind. And there's a siege tank out, so there's not much she can do to kind of break this. There's going to be a second one that will keep things tight in the main, so she can't just use her Reapers to jump up and bypass it. So yeah, it's going to be not very nice for Moomin. Only advantage is that she's got these 2 barracks. Lucas does not. He's actually not even starting stim when... oh, she hasn't started stim either, but she can at any time. She's got the minerals, got the gas, got loads of gas in fact. Just not starting stim. Ooh, these 2 Reapers getting in and getting even more damage. Reminds me of when I played Zealous. Just fucking Reapers everywhere, man. Always doing something. So yeah, finally he's going to start making stim. This would actually have been an issue for him if Moomin had started stim, but she still hasn't. She's completely forgotten it. Oh, there's Raven in the back. Gets a couple of kills. Not massive, but it's a good start. And the denied mining time is going to be pretty big. Do I have... I do. So you see, that was a big advantage for Lucas, but now it's kind of gone back in Moomin's favour. So, nothing major, but little moves like that are what it's going to kind of make up for a lot. And she's still got this army advantage. So if she can bring that to bear, she'll be in a great spot. But she needs to bring it to bear first. I think that was a Reaper. Where's the Ravens? Back here. So, the Raven counts as 1 versus 2, so it's like an inverse of the last game where Lucas had 1 Raven and Vikings. Moomin had 2. This is looking pretty good for Moomin now, I'd say. Still not in a fantastic spot economically, but she has got the 3rd base kind of at an equal time to Lucas. Just needs to try and, I guess, take advantage of that. She needs to see this 3rd base coming down, which she will. She'll see it with these Hellions. And then she'll know that she has a window where she can kind of take advantage and attack, because it is currently... Oh no, Moomin's not constantly making Vikings. This is like one of the most important things in TVT, is this arms race with Vikings. You need, absolutely need to keep making Vikings at all times. Because now, she had her Viking production started earlier, but now they're on equal numbers of Vikings, and with defender's advantage, Lucas is going to be ahead on Vikings. So, really the window for dealing damage is already closed, especially because her stim is so late. She hasn't got stim, but Lucas does. Doesn't really got enough Marines to take advantage of that, but that's besides the point, and now she's going to have to try and break a tank line with stimless Marines, and this is all just going to go wrong, and... That's just GG. There's the game is over, just like that. I hate to say it, but you've just witnessed the end of a game. There's not a lot more that you can say. That was disastrous, and now Moomin is behind on Vikings, behind on Ravens, behind on siege tanks. The only thing she's ahead on is Marines, and Marines are not that good, especially when they have no stim, they have no 1-1, they have no combat shields, which Lucas is already making. And yeah, it's going to need to be quite a miracle comeback for Moomin to manage to pull this off. And doesn't look like she's going to get the time to do so, because 7 siege tanks, 4 Vikings, 2 Ravens are all crossing the map, and she has got 3 Vikings and a siege tank to defend against it. Oh, 2 siege tanks, my mistake. So, basically she has to get really lucky. Lucas is going to take a stupid, and I mean stupid fight. And he's just not going to. He's not running into anything. He's taking things slowly. Using the Vikings. And now he's got air superiority, going to bring it to bear, and that is going to be game over. Yeah, not a lot more you can say in this situation. Everything kind of went wrong in this game, I guess you could say. Like, things were going well, I have to say. But, you know, just this fight up here, that fight was disastrous. Forgetting the stem was actually really big there. And then the way she took the fight was just very messy. Yeah. There you go. I mean, I've lost games like that before. It hurts. And it's kind of the opposite of what Lucas did. Lucas was very patient with his push. He made sure to use his siege tanks, but the thing is, he had the luxury to do that because he had air superiority, whereas Moomin didn't. Moomin would have lost air superiority very quickly because she wasn't constantly making Vikings. And then Lucas could have pushed her back, done some more damage, but at least then she wouldn't have lost all her Marines. Because the Marines were the big advantage that she had. If she'd kept all those Marines alive, she would have had maybe 40 when Lucas came across, as opposed to 15. And Lucas really didn't have that many Marines at all, so she definitely could have kind of gone for a nice big fight, kind of surrounded the army and crushed all the siege tanks. It wouldn't have been easy, but it would have been possible. But yeah, in the end, it is going to be a 2-0 for Lucasdart. Congratulations and good luck against Chelch. I fear he may need it. And yeah, there you go. And there's Stem. I mean, Stem should be here, maybe even earlier. But if you look at the resource collection, it's looking pretty good. Like, she's not ahead, but she's not far behind. Her army is stronger. Yeah, this is just it. This is the kerfuffle in the natural as she's trying to take it. She sent all the SCVs down there before she secured it. It's just really good play by Lucas to kind of eke out an advantage from a pretty bad position with that Cyclone. So I suppose you could say the difference between the two players was Lucas's ability to use every small advantage he had to make up for any deficiencies he had elsewhere. Like in economy, like in army. He used the fact that he had that tech in the Cyclone to deny the economy of Moomin, and in fact deal massive damage to it, as you can see here. And from there, he kind of played a decent game. He was behind, make no mistake, he was definitely behind. But he just needed to wait for Moomin to do something wrong, and that's most certainly what she did here with that fight. Anyway, thanks for watching. I will see you guys some other time. Hopefully in the final. As if that's ever gonna fucking happen.